Yo, what up? This video is a first for me, where I'm not unboxing shoes or suit, but I'm actually going to be talking about shoe care. So not too long ago, Anders Sundström reached out to me. Anders is a former champion of shoe shining. He's out of Sweden, and asked me if I wanted to review his shoe care product called Brunngard. So you probably already seen other menswear YouTubers reviewing their product, but this is my turn. Intro. So as I was saying, Anders reached out to me, and the company's name is Brunngard, and this is the box that was sent to me. As you can see, it's a really beautiful box, and it also comes with a handle for you to carry it around if you have to. I'm going to show you a look inside real quick. So we're not really going to get too deep into the presentation. We just really want to see how it performs, and I have a feeling, being that it's coming from Anders, that it's going to do pretty well. Let's put the box aside for a second, and I'll talk more about each product as I'm using it. So the shoe that we're going to shine today is going to be my TLB Mallorca Plain Cap to Oxford. This is a brown museum calf, and it's on the Van Gogh last. And as you can see, it's a really beautiful shoe. I did do an unboxing for it. If you haven't seen it, I'll link it somewhere up here. I'll also include it in the description. So since it's a museum calf shoe, we're going to use neutral polishing, neutral cream, and neutral spit shine on this one. The reviving cream is like their Renovator if you were to compare it to Saphir. So this is the first part that we're going to use to remove any old polishes that was on the shoe. And the second thing that we're going to use is the cream, which is called the Artistic Cream right here. And as you can see, this is the neutral. Then we're going to use the wax, which is a neutral. And then last but not least, we're going to use the neutral spit shine. We're going to use two different brushes. First, we're going to use the horsehair brush, which is the one that's the hardest brush as far as the texture. It's pretty rough. So that's what you use when you want to get dirt off your shoes. And then after that, we're going to use the good hair brush, which is much softer. And that's after we put the cream on. And they also have a yak hair brush, which is very soft, and that helps with shining the shoes. Let's get to it. So the first thing that we're going to do, we're going to apply the reviving cream to get rid of any cream and waxes from the previous mirror shine. And we don't want to put too much when you're first starting out. And you want to put it all over the shoe. And what you want to do at this point, you want to brush it to remove any excess cream. So I'm going to use the horsehair brush. And if you're wondering, I did brush it before I applied the cream also, just to remove any dust from the time that the shoe was sitting on my desk here. And what you want to do at this point is to let the shoe sit for about 10 minutes. 10 minutes is up. Now we're going to apply the cream polish. And with the cream polish, you want to start with a very thin coat. And then after that, you can do a heavier one. So let's do it. Let me put the light up a little bit more so that we can see better. I think that's a little better. So the next thing that we want to do is to use the goat hair brush. Make sure that the cream is spread evenly on the shoe. All right, so we're going to do a second application, and this time we're going to go a bit heavier on the cream. I usually get asked what type of cream and wax should someone use on museum calf. It really depends on which color you're trying to emphasize. So for example, this shoe has some dark brown spots and some lighter brown spots. So if you want to bring out the darker brown spots, then you would use a darker polish. And if you want to highlight the lighter parts, then you would use a lighter brown polish. One safe way to go about it is to use a neutral polish, which is what I'm doing right now. And this is why the polish is white as opposed to a different color. I do have some brown polish here, but I wanted to keep it safe. I'm not really used to this product yet, so you don't want to use the wrong color. And next thing you know, the shoe is too dark and it takes a long time to really reverse it back to what it was. I want to make sure that the different spots still shine because this is a museum calf shoe, so I don't want it to lose that feature. And don't worry if you see there's too much cream on the seams, because I'm going to be using the brush anyway to even it out later. Just do your best to try to spread it as evenly as possible. And you want to put a little bit on the tongue as well. Okay, I think that's enough cream. Let's brush it out. Once again, I'm using the goat hair brush now. All right, so this is it for the cream application. We're going to let the shoe sit for another 10 minutes before we start applying the wax. All right, so it's time to move on to the wax polish. One thing that I like to do with wax is to apply about 20 coats before I even start the mirror shine process. And this is something that I learned from my man Preston Soto from the Elegant Oxford. So let's get to it. So that's one. Two. There was some fuzz on there, so you definitely don't want to put the wax over the fuzz. So just make sure that there's no fuzz on the shoe, because that can really mess up your mirror shine. And 20. And I'm also going to put 10 coats on the heel portion. So 1, 2, Now for the mirror shine, I'm going to use some ice water because I find that the ice water always works better than, let's say, room temperature water. So you're just going to dip your finger, the tip of your finger I should say, in there and put a couple drops on the toe cap. And just keep going in circles, man. You're going to be doing this for a while, so. Now this is the part that's going to take the longest. And how long it takes depends on how much of a mirror shine you want on there. So the longer you spend on it, the better that the mirror shine is going to be. So as you can see right now, I'm not adding any additional wax yet. I'm just using the water with the wax that was already on there. But we'll be introducing more wax shortly. So as you can see, it's already getting a little bit of a shine. And what you have to keep in mind is every time that you add new wax, it's going to look a little bit cloudy, but just keep going with the water and the wax. All right, let me start introducing a little bit of wax. Once again, you really don't want to put that much wax at this point. And as you can see now, it's not as shiny as it was before. It's a little bit cloudy like I was saying, but keep going. You also don't want to put too much water so you're not saturating the shoe. The last thing that you want is to have a wet spot on your toe cap. I've seen that happen and it's not pretty. So I'm really happy with how this is turning out, considering that we just started the mirror shine process. So this is extremely promising. So what I do is I alternate between wax and water or just water. So I don't always use wax, but I always use water, whether I'm using it with the wax or without. So I think the last time I did use the wax, so now I'm just using the water. Once again, you just want to touch the wax very slightly. You really don't want to put too much at this point. And if you're wondering how much pressure you should be putting on it, as I always hear Preston say, you have to treat it as if you're shining an egg. So you do have to put some pressure, but not enough pressure that would break an egg, if that makes sense. And this is really coming along. Now what I want to do is I want to move on to the heel, because remember we did apply 10 coats on the heel also. So let's start working on that part. And once again, we're going to start with just water. I did drop a little bit of water in the wax by accident, so let me just get it from there to use it. So now I'm going to start applying a little bit of wax. You don't want to put too much. Just tap your finger very slightly. So So the shine on the hill is starting to come alive also. So at this point, I want to go back to the toe cap. What do you guys think about the mirror shine so far, man? I'm not able to see myself quite yet. Well, a little bit. But we still have a long way to go. Hopefully this is coming across pretty good on camera. I remember the first time I did a mirror shine on camera, it really wasn't that great of a job. But I think I'm a little bit better now than I was back then. Ironically, that was also a pair of CRB Mallorca. But I'm very impressed so far with Brunngard, man. Now, how long am I going to be doing this for? Until I feel like I can't do it anymore. I'll let you guys know, don't worry about it. This is also kind of therapeutic, so I don't mind this at all, actually. Especially when you start seeing the results, then you just want to keep going. At this point, I'm very happy with where we are with the mirror shine. So the next thing to do is to apply the spit shine. And that's going to take the mirror shine to the next level. And just like the wax polish, when you first apply it, it is going to look cloudy. But not to worry, just add water and I'm sure that it'll be fine. As you can see, the spit shine is doing a really good job. I'm going to apply some to the heel also. And back to the toe cap I go to finish the job. I think that we're getting pretty close. Once again, you can do this all night if you want to. There's not really a limit to how much you can do on there. And also, one thing that works really, really well is when you let the shoe rest and then come back the next day to finish it off. I won't be doing that because I don't have that kind of time, but that's definitely an option that yields really good results. Alright, I think we're going to leave it right here, guys. It's been about 45 minutes to an hour since I've been shining this one shoe. And I'm very impressed by the results. Obviously, I can stay here all night and just keep going at it, but I think it looks pretty good, man. What do you guys think? It's not exactly Preston Soto level, but I think it looks pretty good. Personally, I think that Paul Brunngard does a really good job with their products. And these are the type of products that definitely would rival something like Saphir or Pure Polish, which is another solid brand that I've used in the past. And I would definitely recommend it. I think it really comes down to preference and also the number of options that each one is going to have. I don't think nobody can really top Saphir as far as all the colors that they offer. But if we're talking about performance, I think this is really, really good, man. Once again, I'm not a master shoe shiner or even close. And I was able to accomplish this in about 45 minutes to an hour. So I'm going to include all the links in the description. Ultra 10 out of the UK is the store that carries Paul Brunngard. So all the links will be on there. And those are some really good guys that work at that store. So they'll take great care of you. Just tell them I sent you. Oh, and I'll be remiss if we didn't do a wrist check. This is my 1976 King Quartz, which is a watch that I really, really love. And I know that it was featured prominently in this video, so I almost forgot to tell you guys what it is. I always assume that everybody knows everything because they've seen every video, and I know that's not the case. So I've definitely spoken about that watch before. I think I unboxed it here before. I don't remember. But yeah, it's one of my favorite watches. So hit the thumbs up if you like this video. Subscribe, or everybody gonna think that you're a hater. And I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.